What happened?
All this for what? Green
I got a
leaves?
really good oolong drink.
Just ignore me. I care about your stupid drinks.
It is no secret that we are back in Japan with one goal in mind: to capture its beauty once more for our epic Japan travel film, Autumn Leaves Edition. But as with many travel and nature photography and filmmaking, weather, crowd, and accessibility play the biggest obstacles in acquiring the best shots. And this is one of those travel stories of how everything went wrong for us in Japan.
Kyoto gone Vong.
Alright, so bad news. We've been hearing from our friend Victor that it might be a little too late to get the fall leaves in Kyoto. The leaves have already peaked. They're peak red right now. And we might be too late because we're not going to be there for another week.
The good news is, I found crate.
That's not good news at all.
Oh my god, so good.
This is bad news.
Great.
Alright, so some context. Why autumn leaves, and specifically in Japan? Well, as native Californians, the best that we get are perpetual green palm trees by the beaches all year round. So seeing autumn leaves go through color changes is just fascinating to us, and something about nature with ancient Asian architecture that just gets my photography tingle going.
What's the weather like in Kyoto tomorrow?
Sunny in Kyoto, Japan tomorrow.
We are like seriously thinking about just heading to Kyoto tomorrow. We're looking at ticket options right now. This is all unplanned.
6 o'clock, because we got 6 a.m.
Huh?
We have to get our ass to Tokyo Station by 6 a.m.
I cannot believe we're doing it. We're leaving tomorrow.
Risk it for the biscuit tomorrow.
So this was from today. I didn't realize it was this bad. It's redder than I thought. Geography lesson. Kyoto's a bit south of Tokyo, and since it's colder north than it is south, the season change occurs a lot sooner, and the ideal peak time is around late November. Or so it was forecasted, and also based on my own historical data. So why is it peaking early November? Well, one can only guess. Okay, so just flip our plans and go to Kyoto 1 week early, right? Ha ha ha, just. Well, you see, we would if we weren't already going to and paid for non-refundable accommodations at Lake Kawaguchi for Mount Fuji and the autumn leaves. That sounds like a band. And we're literally leaving for Lake Kawaguchi the day after tomorrow. So with that in mind, we can only afford to be in Kyoto for less than
24 hours.
And of course, the fastest way is also the most expensive way to get there. A $300 round-trip Shinkansen ride will get us there in just over 2 hours. For context, a car ride from Tokyo would be 5 hours and 15 minutes. Quite the monetary gamble for the uncertainty of what the leaves are like, but as two people with nerve-wracking anxiety, the best way to ease it is just by going there and finding out for ourselves. Because if not, FOMO will haunt us for a week. After all, we have come back to Japan for one purpose, and one purpose only: to experience and capture the beauty of Japan autumn leaves.
Good morning. It is 5:08 a.m. right now. Taxi's about to be here in 5 minutes, and yeah, we're going to Kyoto.
The great thing about taking a train is that we can spend the next 2 hours doing research on where to go for peak red leaves. Unfortunately, some of the best locations are also more than an hour away from central Kyoto, and that's by car. If you've ever been to Kyoto, then you would know the best and most affordable way to get around is actually by bus, despite doubling the travel time for every location. And it being a Friday, we can expect the bus situation to be, bussy. So that leaves taxi to be the fastest, but yet again, the most expensive way to get around. And traveling 2 hours both ways for one amazing location is not exactly a good use of our time and money. Not to mention, we specifically need daytime shots of the autumn leaves, which only leaves us 7 hours of sunlight. Talk about cutting it close. So I narrowed it down to 3 locations: Senyuji Temple, Chionin Temple, and for sunset, Jingoji up in Mount Takao. So with my research done, I try to salvage any minutes of sleep I can get. I cannot believe we are here right now in Kyoto so early.
Still greenish yellow. So we are here right now at Senyuji Temple, but a lot of the leaves are still green.
Upon arriving, we are greeted by the advertisement for the inner garden, selling this expectation to us that this is what's waiting for us on the inside. When in reality, there is only one lone red tree.
Your one tree.
My one red tree.
Everything else is green to a mild yellow at best. But amidst the chaotic morning, we somehow find ourselves at peace.
It's all about filmmaking, right? It's all about photography. You want to like centralize the best thing in a frame. So even though not a lot of the stuff are currently red right now, we just have to hone in on the ones that are and make a great shot.
Senyuji Temple is definitely a hidden gem, a place to get away from the crowd and enjoy the tranquility of ancient Asian architecture, the natural beauty that blooms within.
We'll see what we can do.
The wooden balcony serves as a calm viewing spot, and somehow, the lone red tree just works. But I can't help but have a moment of self-doubt. Perhaps we're here a little too early. On a taxi ride over to our next location, we're seeing nothing but green trees for miles.
You mean kilometers? By the way, who gave us the green light to come now anyways?
Frame of travel.
Alright, so we're at Chionin Temple. Chunin exam?
It's not shooting exams.
We're here at Chionin Temple.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah, it's just too many stairs to climb.
Lazy!
Those of you with a keen eye will immediately recognize the steps were featured in Tom Cruise's 2003 The Last Samurai. But the Samon Gate is just one of the many scenic structures that is spread across the compound of Chionin, the headquarters of the Jodo sect of Japanese Buddhism. However, what also lies ahead was something we were not expecting. School field trips. I like their hats. Wow. Feels like 500 kids are invading Chionin ground alone. No doubt here participating in the greatest ninja tests of all time, the Chunin exams. Now, because of all these ninja kids, that means we need to go somewhere else less bussy if we want any clear shots of the temple structures. So Vivienne and I make our harrowing escape. With 4 hours to spare before we head to Mount Takao for sunset, we stop for lunch. I think I'm gonna get a hot dog and some french fries.
Oh, you want a hot dog?
Yes, hot dog. Fantastic hot dog. Whoa, what is that?
Whoa, wait.
Ducks.
Today we have Jason, master of Japan's wetlands, out in the wild, and he has spotted a gray heron.
Heron? Herring?
Heron.
Red herring.
No.
It's red herring.
We are kind of done in this area. We checked out the temple, we checked out the gardens, super beautiful. And now we're gonna walk the path down to Kiyomizu-dera. It's about a 20-minute walk down that path, so we'll see what we can find there.
With 3 hours left, we need to get a move on. And somehow, Vivienne convinces me to skip Mount Takao, which is 45 minutes away by taxi, and instead go to Kiyomizu-dera, which is just 20 minutes away by foot. Just. Now, the issue with Kiyomizu-dera is back in 2019, I didn't have a pleasant experience. I remember the route to get there was brutal. It was an uphill walk, and on top of that, lots of people. Kiyomizu-dera is arguably one of the most popular tourist attraction in Kyoto. Well, besides Arashiyama Bamboo Forest and the orange torii gates of Fushimi Inari, but the difference between the three is that the latter two looks the same all year round. But Kiyomizu-dera has that ever-changing landscape view, and in 2017, it was one of the finalists for the new 7 Wonders of the World. Unfortunately, it didn't make it, but it's currently now one of the signature World Heritage Sites in Kyoto. So, yeah, it's a big deal. But in 2019, it was under intense renovation.
Means I'm not getting any shots today.
No one told me that when I made the hike up. I found out when I got there. Paid my admission just to see scaffolding. It might as well be called Scaffold Mizudera. The pain left quite a bad impression on me that is still burning to this day. But Vivienne is insistent on it, and with the lack of sleep finally coming over me, a 20-minute walk seemed more appealing than a 45-minute taxi ride. I was wrong.
What happened?
Oh, this for what?
I got a really good peach oolong
Just
drink.
ignore me. I care about your crepe and your stupid drinks.
Come on, we got more steps.
I can't.
You're a little dramatic.
Just go. Just go on without me. Push me. Push me. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. Alright, we made it out here to Kyoto Mizudera, and there is no red leaves. We've been sent on a wild goose chase. I blame Frame of Travel for this.
Sorry.
So funny enough, I thought I wanted red leaves, but as a matter of fact, the green leaves actually contrast better with the orange pagoda right here.
So it's a good thing that we came a little early to capture some of that nice, luscious green.
But we're not done yet. We still have a few more steps to climb.
For our final hour, I still need closure from one last spot.
We need to get you that closure.
With that positive attitude in mind, we make our ascend. We have made it into the belly of the beast. Just as we have predicted, packed to the brim. Weekend locals, tourists, and what we haven't expected to be thrown into the mix, ninja kids. All smushed together on this one tiny singular platform. But amidst the crowd, the arduous hike, the PTSD of my early years, the leaves were red. Peak red. Glowing brightly as they enveloped the newly renovated structure of Kyoto Mizudera, its glorious woodwork basking in the warm sunset glow, shining brightly with its gold glimmering outline, all set up for a beautiful shot. Vivienne and I took this chance, took this gamble, all for those gorgeous views of autumn leaves in Japan, and it paid off. It all paid off.
We finally got you those photos that you wanted all those years ago.
I am at peace now. Scaffold Mizudera rectified. Kyoto gone right. As the sun came down, we begin our descent on the same hill we fought so hard to climb. Not just physically, but also mentally. We are feeling good, feeling accomplished, ready to tackle our next adventure and the challenges that lies ahead. The end.
Sorry.